Hello! Welcome back to Tito DeeTV. This is Tito D and we are here on season 2 of Tito DeeTV live interview. Our 1 month rest is over. The last time we had live interview was October 7, if you remember, with Miss Universe Japan 2020 semi-finalist and now second runner-up, Yuki Sonoda. Congratulations, Yuki, if you are watching. We are proud of you. And now, it is a pride and honor for Tito DTV to have with us today the first ever trans woman delegate for Miss Intercontinental 2020 pageant. OMG, this is history. None other than Arielle Keil of New Zealand. Welcome, Arielle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hello. Yes, and I'm so happy that you are here. Oh my God. You are gorgeous. Welcome,
Yeah,
Arielle, to Tito D TV.
thank you. I'm
How are
happy to
you
be here.
doing?
I'm good. I have a bit of a cold and flu, so if I cough, it's because I'm
Oh,
starting better. But yeah,
how, how about the climate there? Is okay?
um,
It's
it's
cold?
more warm now.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
my
so
God.
be soon.
I am speechless, and overwhelmed. You know what? Because Tito DTV is part of the history since you are the first ever trans woman to join the Miss Intercontinental pageant.
Oh, yay!
Yes. I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very honored because it is history. So, how do you feel like knowing that you are a history?
It doesn't. It hasn't really hit me yet. Sorry. In my head, I'm still the same little kid I was when I was growing up. Like, I don't know, like I've never thought to myself, like, oh, like I did that. Like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is so strange that people are looking up to me because I don't know, I never see myself as, I don't know, like as an amazing person to me, I'm just a regular human being. So it's strange, but it's very sweet, and I'm so happy with all the support that um, everyone back home has given me. So I'm so happy and so grateful.
Of course, because you are Filipino and we are here to support you.
Yeah.
Of course, whether you will be representing New Zealand in an international competition, but since you have the Filipino blood, you have the Filipino root, we are very proud of you. And remember, this is history, like I said before, because you are the first ever trans woman to join the Miss International pageant. Remember?
I always say that if it was me in Philippines in the final two and Philippines won, I would probably scream the loudest out of everyone because I'm a huge pageant fan and I always support the beauty queens back home, and I'd always stay up and watch a live stream. And I remember I recorded my reaction when Catriona won Miss Universe and I was like screaming. I was like, ah! So me to have support from back home in the Philippines because even though I live in New Zealand, like I'm still so connected to my roots, and I'm always proud and will always be proud of, being from the Philippines, especially from Davao.
Yes. And as far as I know, there are lots of Filipino living in New Zealand.
Yeah, there's heaps. Yeah.
Yes. So what is the initial reaction of your family, especially your dad, that you are the chosen Miss Intercontinental 2020 of New Zealand?
I think at first, So sorry, but
Yeah, it's okay.
I remember going into the pageant. I was like to my dad, I feel really confident, not cocky, but I feel very prepared. And I had all my looks prepared. And I was like, I feel confident in what I'm going to present. I feel confident in how I'm going to walk. And I remember my dad said, like, oh, don't be too confident, rah, rah. And I said, no, Papa, like, I'm not arrogant or anything. I feel it's right. I feel like it's destiny. And it happened. So
Oh, yes, of course. And the pageant was held last month, isn't it? Last October?
yeah,
October, what's the date?
October 11th
21?
birthday.
Out October 11. So, how many are you from the very start of the competition? The Miss Intercontinental New Zealand 2020. How many are
Uh,
you?
so there was 12 of us in the beginning,
Oh,
and then some dropped
then.
out. And I think by the end of it, there was like 8 of us.
Oh. So, how was the pageant being done or the process of the coronation night? Can you tell us, please?
It was kind of up and down because of COVID. So the
Yes.
pageant itself took a huge budget cut. So normally it's held in a nicer venue, but because of COVID, things were changed around. And initially, what was going to happen was obviously we're going to have the proper coronation, and then they changed it, and they were like, no, it's just going to be prejudging, like preliminaries, and then after preliminaries,
Yes.
with the winner because that's all your scores. Because normally there's your preliminary results and then your final night results.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed it around so much, but that's how it ended up going. It ended up being our preliminary scores for evening gown, cocktail, swimsuit, national costume, and interview.
Oh.
And then on the final night, we had our scores for Q&A.
Oh, so do you remember the final question? How were you able to
Uh,
answer it?
yeah, so our final question was they did it really strange. So here we get one question and you have to answer it from 5 different perspectives. So our question was, if you're in charge of managing the world during this pandemic, what steps would you take to minimize the effects of the pandemic so we can go back to normality? And the different
Yes.
perspectives are political, environmental, medical, societal. There's one other one I can't remember, but you have to answer it from those perspectives. So if it was medical, you'd answer how the medical sector could return back to normality. I got political and I said something like, one thing the world is struggling with at the moment during this pandemic is divisiveness. Half the world is scared of coronavirus and fears the mortality rate of it, while the other half thinks it is a hoax. If I was in charge of the world politically during this pandemic, I would pass laws and legislations to make it
Mm-hmm.
mandatory for adhere to rules and regulations put in place by healthcare professionals. I would also hold news outlets accountable and social media sites accountable for filtering out fake news because I believe this is a very reason why many people don't take this virus seriously. And I believe if we address those aspects of our society, then we'll be able to see normality sooner rather than later. Ding!
Oh my God. Think how many seconds is that? 30 seconds or 45 seconds?
I've been practicing with, Cece. He
Oh. Oh
trained me.
my.
Uh, I reached out to him on Instagram a long time ago, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the first." Sorry,
Yeah, it's okay.
because he owns the only trans modeling agency in Los Angeles, and I know he's trained like Katarina, Miss Universe India,
Mm-hmm.
friends. Yeah, so many queens I've looked up to, and yeah, reached out to me ages ago, and then like months later he saw the message, and then yeah, he trained me, and so I've been training with him, like practicing Q&A and my walk and everything.
Oh, that's great. Let's see some comment here. We have some viewers here. You may greet them.
Is it Mari Choi? Hi.
Yes. Marichoy
Oh,
Tordillos.
oh,
She is
she's so
living
pretty.
in Dasmariñas, Cavite.
Oh, nice. That's where Billy's from, right? Cavite.
Cavite. It's just beside Metro Manila.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Another one.
Thank you so much. How do you Mari Grace?
Yes. Marie Chris Gabran.
Much.
She is watching from Oklahoma, USA.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine.
Oh,
Marichoy said, ang ganda mo daw. Ganda niya like me.
yeah.
You're beautiful.
She is beautiful though. I can see in her picture. Oh, thank you.
I love transgender.
Oh, thank you.
Marichoy asking.
Do I have a boyfriend? No, I do not have a boyfriend. I did. We broke up recently. But it's fine. Um, I'm young. I've my whole life ahead of me, and I don't know. Like I've never been more like ambitious and driven and motivated. Um, to do things in my life. I feel like boys distract you, so boyfriends aren't important. They can come later.
Oh, you're right. Marie Chris said, I hope you feel
Think
better.
I think another 2 days and my my cold will be gone. But it's been like a
Oh,
week. I was supposed to start training for Intercontinental this week, but I've just been so sick this week.
oh, okay. So remember that the world today is in the midst of pandemic. How did you prepare for this battle?
For the pandemic or the
The
pageant?
the pageant. Since we are in the midst of pandemic, how did you prepare for this battle of pageant, the Miss Intercontinental?
I think that like and any queen who has competed during this pandemic deserves a gold medal. It is so hard. Like normally pageants are like 3-4 months, the duration, pre-pageant activities, preliminaries, and then the final night. But the Miss New Zealand one is dragged on for 10 months and it's so long and
10 months.
dragged out. Yeah, I did this whole year has been dedicated to the pageant. And the thing is with me, like I'm a very hard worker. So even when we were on a full countrywide lockdown, I would still be in my room practicing my Q&A, making my national costume, practicing my walk with Cece. We still had our training sessions. So I've almost exhausted myself working, but I think what's important is to have a good attitude. That sounds so cheesy, but there's going to be so many things that, so many curveballs thrown your way. You just have to have a positive attitude and take things as they come and just know that, like, if something doesn't go as planned, it's not anyone's fault. We're in a very difficult time.
So you're doing your practice through virtual, through internet.
Yeah, through Skype. Yeah. So normally, I bring my tripod to a dance studio because they have the
Oh,
mirrors and giant, the floor space to walk on. So normally I go there with my tripod, my swimsuit, and my phone, and I'm
Yes,
practicing
yes.
during lockdown. I was practicing in my apartment and not
But do you have mentor like someone will teach you walking, someone
yeah,
will teach you the question and answer portion, or the hair and makeup, like the HMOA, hair and makeup. Do you have mentor for that?
um so CC pretty much is he teaches me everything. But I feel like because I'd practiced for so long, like I was practicing before I was even eligible. I was practicing my hair and makeup. I was practicing my walk and Q&A. So when I started training with CC, he didn't have to start from scratch. He just gave me small
Mhm.
pointers. Like with my makeup, he gave me small pointers and I applied it straight away and it was easy. I didn't need to have someone sit me down and teach me how to do my eyebrows or teach me how to do eyeliner because I don't know, like I'm a very like girly girl. Some girls are like tomboys and that's not really their thing, but I'm a very like girly girl, so that to me is just comes natural.
Oh. What is the situation of New Zealand now? Do you still have COVID cases?
Yeah, so we have COVID cases, but they're in managed isolation. So here, if you come from overseas, like if you're in New Zealand, you
Mm.
travel and you come back, you have to be in isolation for 2 weeks, and you're
Oh.
designated hotels, so you can't see anyone, you can't see your friends, you can't see your family, you can't see any other human for 2 weeks. So the only cases that we have had have been in managed isolation, so it's not really COVID cases in the community. And, if it is
Mhm.
COVID case in managed isolation, they make sure that the person has several negative tests before they release them. So
Oh, that's great.
New Zealand's really cooperative. Like, I know in other countries, especially like America, like half the country is like, no, we're not going to shut down. We're not going to listen to you. We're still going to go out and do whatever. And, um, but like in New Zealand, everyone just listens. And so, like, within a month, we went back to our normal life, which was pretty good. Because I don't cook. I am the worst at cooking. Um, that's like probably why I don't have a boyfriend. I can't cook. So we had like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King was all shut down, and I was like, oh my god, I have to cook, and I can make rice. I put some chicken in the frying pan, but it was hard. But yeah, the country all cooperated, and yeah. Oh wait, I'm gonna answer that question. I really, really, really want to join Miss Universe. That is like my main goal. But my plan was to do a pageant before Miss Universe. So um, at the moment, no one holds the licenseship for Miss Universe New Zealand. But if I've
Oh.
Miss Intercontinental and someone has the license, I'm definitely going to enter.
Oh. So anyway, that's maybe someday. You're still young anyway. You're
Yeah,
26.
yeah. And
Yes,
I,
yes. And then Miss Intercontinental is okay.
yeah,
Yes, definitely. And what's good in New Zealand, as I heard and I read, was the people in the New Zealand's are very cooperative.
Yeah. And
Yes,
it's
and the
very,
government is doing well.
yeah. I know a lot of like countries, like in America, like most Americans don't like Donald Trump. They hate the president. But in New Zealand, we call our prime minister Auntie. Like we call her Auntie Cindy. Like in New Zealand, we have the culture where it's like you can't ever be too up yourself. You can't ever be too arrogant because everyone's like, we're all just human beings. We're all the same. So even if someone is like the prime minister, we're like, oh, she's like our auntie. Like it's very that sort of environment. It's never like, oh my God, like bow down to our prime minister. Because if we did that, our prime minister would be like, I'm just like everyone else. So I guess that kind of is something that I have like applied to my life growing up.
Oh, that's great. That's why kudos to the collective effort of the government and the people, of course. So amazing. So hands up for that. Yes, and we love New Zealand because of their handling battle against COVID-19.
Yeah, it's honestly like crazy to think that because I forget sometimes that like other countries are not in like good situations because their government or their healthcare system might be failing them. I kind of wish that our prime minister could rule the world because if everyone did what we did, like in a month it'd be gone.
Yes, exactly. So how does the process you've been through accepting that you are a trans woman, and how does the family accept you?
I like growing up, I was very like conservative Christian, and so obviously like for me as a kid, when I think of transgender, I think of like a drag queen or like a parody of a woman, not an actual woman. And I was like, oh no, like that's not me. Like that, like I always felt feminine, but then like what I thought of a trans person was never positive. And I was like, oh no, like that can't be me. Like I don't want to be a bad person or I don't want to be a joke. Um and it wasn't until I was 18 when I moved out of home for the first time for a year and I like looked online and I was talking to other transgender people and it made me like understand myself better. And that was a year that Jenna Talakova actually competed in Miss Canada. So the same year I realized I was transgender was the same year that the rules were changed. And yeah, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It seemed because I was too scared to even start hormones for 5 years. I was too scared. So
Yes.
how am I even going to make history and compete when I'm too scared to even start hormones, let alone get the surgery and everything. Um, but I thought to myself, I was like, whenever I make a decision in my life, I always think, am I going to regret doing or not doing this when I'm 80 years old and on my deathbed? Because I always think about that. I'm like, when I'm that age, I don't want to look back in my life and have any regrets. And
Yes, yes.
I already lost, like the early years of my life living as the wrong gender. And I was like, I'm still young. I'm
Yes.
not like a teenager anymore, but I'm still young and I have a chance to live, some of the best years of my life as my true self. Am I gonna wait another day? Am I gonna wait another year? Like, if not now, then when? And
Well,
that was for me to start hormones and to live my truth. It didn't come as a shock to any of my friends They
Mm.
were kind of like, okay, yeah, like we kind of like saw it coming, but I think my parents did struggle to accept it. I did try to hide it from them for a long time.
Oh.
Um, but it's really hard. Like you can hide, like if you're gay, you can hide that from your family. It's a lot easier to hide that from your family. But if you're taking hormones, like your body and your face is changing, it's so hard to
Mhm.
hide that because even if you wear boy clothes, you're growing boobs, your face is changing,
Yes.
your body's changing, and it got to the point where I couldn't hide it, and it was just so obvious. And um, yeah, my mom like sat me down and she was like, your face is changing, your body's changing, like, are you taking hormones? And for a while I was like,
Mm.
no, 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 like that's crazy, like, like I don't know what you're talking about. Like, but like
Really?
when boys come out the shower, they have the towel around their waist.
Yes.
But like it got to the point where I was like covering myself in the towel and running into my room because I was like, no, like my body's changing. But then I eventually like was honest with them, and it wasn't until I didn't want to present as male anymore. I was like, I don't want to dress like a boy anymore. I want to throw all my boy clothes out and get long hair. And that's when they were like, okay, like you need to leave. um at the time I was really, really hurt by it. It felt like someone had like shoved a knife in my heart and turned it. But looking
Oh.
back now, I have to understand that for them, they lost a son. Even though I was never, like playing basketball or, like into boxing, like whenever there's a Pacquiao fight, I was always like, I don't, not interested. Like, that's not like, I, like, it would have been hard for them as well because especially in Filipino culture, it's so important to have a son to carry on your last name because it's a big thing.
Yes,
And so
yes.
to lose that was a lot for them. And I had I was hurt at the time, but now that I know better and I'm a bit older now, I fully understand why they reacted the way they did. And I don't blame them at all. And I'm not angry. I don't hold any grudges. I've spoken to my dad about it. And yeah, he's like, to this day, he still mourns the loss of his son. Um, but he's so proud of me and he's so happy with how I turned out. And yeah, he's always like, you're so he's always like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," but that's because you're my daughter. Like he always make like jokes like that,
But
and
if
he's
I'm not
always
mistaken, your dad is the one Filipino.
yeah. So my papa is Filipino, my mom is German Filipina.
Oh, so German Filipina, so half.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why. So what's the initial reaction of your dad?
to my transition or
Yes, your on your translation last. I read it on if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken, somewhere it's on the news since 2012.
Oh no, so that's when I knew I was. Some of the articles have got some of the things wrong. Like some of them say that I transitioned in 2012. 2012 was when I knew I was transgender, but I didn't transition until I was 23. So that'd be like 2017. But yeah,
Oh.
initially hurt by it, and I think he was probably more hurt by it than my mum because, as a father, like you want your son to be a reflection of you, but growing up, I just wasn't that. Like my dad just could not see himself at all in me. Like every dad's like, oh, my mini me or whatever. Like I was just nothing like my dad. And growing up, he must have been hurt by that. And then for me to transition, that would have been like the nail in the coffin, I guess. It would have been like, okay, like this is real. Like I don't have a son anymore. Like, there's no hope. There's no going back. I think for the longest time they were holding on to hope that I would change my mind and like detransition or whatever. But oh, thank you. She says she likes my red lipstick.
Yes.
I but when I got my surgery, that's when I think they were like, okay, like she's serious about her transition. There's definitely no going back. Because I remember before I got my surgery, my dad kept being like, oh, like, you know, when you have it, you can't go back. There's no going back. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get it back again. You know, you can't never go back to being a boy. I'm like, I,
Yes. Yes.
I've done my research. I know. And then when I came back, because he didn't want to drop me off to the airport, because I was like, Dad, like, I need, like, the airport is like almost an hour away from my apartment. And I was like, I don't drive. I don't even have my license. And I asked my dad if he could drop me off, and he said no. He didn't want to help me get to the airport. He didn't want to help pay for my flights. And I don't think it's because he wasn't supportive. I think he just wanted to see how serious I was about it.
Yes.
Because I think he was very like, if you want it, you'll go get it. You won't need anyone's help. And that's what I did.
Yeah, that's great. You have the daddy. Your dad
Yeah.
is really great.
Yeah. I love him.
Yeah, very supportive, you
Yeah.
know. Unlike the others, I heard some, story from different people that they were experiencing like what it's hard. But on your story, oh my God, I
Yeah.
admire your father.
That is, and one person that I really have to credit is my aunt there because because she's like my best friend, like from day one. Like I always say, I owe who I am as a woman, everything I am as a woman, I owe to her because she showed me so much love and, like just maternal energy. Like she never not once told me to change myself, when I was getting bullied and when I was getting teased. She was the only one telling me, like, don't worry what other people think, just keep being yourself. So if it wasn't for her love and her acceptance, I don't know, who knows, I might have changed and I might be still in the closet to this day, but because of her, like, I am who I am today. And she, early on in my transition, she really encouraged my dad to accept me and to use the right pronouns and, to stop calling me by my old name. So she was really, I guess, like the bridge um, between mine and my
Yes.
dad's relationship.
Yeah. Great ate.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have a great ate as well. She is nice.
yeah.
So what is your piece of advice to the LGBTQ plus community?
I would say to just keep being yourself. I know that the world can be cruel to us, and I know firsthand how it feels to just sit there and go, oh my God, like there's so many people in the world that either want me dead or think I'm a freak or think I'm weird. And that's not a nice feeling. It does bring you down, but keep fighting, keep pushing. And there's been some, other transgender girls that have said to me, like, I really, really want to enter a pageant one day, not a Miss International Queen or the Super Serenia pageant. Like they want to enter,
Yes.
like Miss Universe, Miss Intercontinental. And I just want to tell them to keep pushing on. Like I would love, love, love to see a trans contestant in Miss Universe Philippines. It's broken away now from Binibining Pilipinas. And I know that like Miss International doesn't accept trans contestants and Miss Grand International doesn't accept trans contestants. But now that Miss Universe Philippines has broken off into its own thing, they don't have an excuse anymore to not accept trans contestants. So I hope one day that the organization has its first transgender contestant. I would love that and I would support that fully. But yeah, keep fighting is what I would say. And never lose your heart. Like, I know that bad experiences can make people um, bitter and angry people, but don't ever lose a positive and a good heart just because you've gone through a bad experience. Because when you come out on the other end, if you still have a good heart, it makes you so much more admirable and inspiring to other people.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for your message. But how young are you when you migrated to New Zealand?
I was 4 years old, so this was back in 1998.
Oh, so you did your elementary, your high school, and college in New
Uh,
Zealand.
it's so funny because when I first moved to New Zealand, I did not know any English at all. All I could speak was Tagalog.
Really?
Yeah. My auntie could speak English because she was already in school, and in the Philippines, they really encourage you to speak English or learn English because they want to be able to. I don't know, like if you're a Filipino, they want to. Obviously, you have to know your language, but learn English as well, so you have the opportunity to go overseas and then come back home, kind of thing. Um, but I don't know any English at all, and so when I was in kindergarten, I would speak to the kids in Bisaya and Tagalog, and I concept that we spoke a different language and that they couldn't understand me, and I was speaking to these kids in Bisaya, and they was I can't understand you, but I was just speaking in Bisaya. But when you're a kid, you don't really like get it. You don't really understand. But yeah, it was funny. I had no idea.
I can't imagine you are to speak Bisaya with your fellow children. You're playing and now you're
Yeah,
talking in Bisaya. Ay, naon sa man ka diha?
it was fun. Like I was a boy lizard, and there was a girl. Her name was Stacy, and I was like, Stacy, pass me my butiki. And she was like, I was asking for
What's butiki? So amazing. I read your Instagram and I saw uh, AUT. What does AUT stands for? I saw from your profile that you are a fashion designer, graduate from AUT
yeah.
University.
So it stands for Auckland University of Technology.
Oh, Auckland University Technology.
Of technology, yeah.
And now you are currently studying BCom.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
that
doing
BCom
a,
advertising creativity?
yeah, so I'm doing a Bachelor of Communications and I'm doing a double major. So I'm doing like advertising creativity and public relations.
Oh, Marie Chris asking, can you still speak Bisaya?
I feel like I'm put on the spot. Mag-istorya ko ng Bisaya, gamay lang.
Very a little. Gamay. Kasultig yun kung Bisaya, gamay lang.
But,
Gamay pod. But do you have dual citizenship?
yes, sorry. I have New Zealand citizenship and Philippine citizenship.
Oh, so dual. You have Philippine citizenship and you have New Zealand.
Sorry.
You have dual citizenship. You have the Philippine citizenship and the New Zealand.
I
But
seem to
have you
hear
been
me.
in Germany?
No, never. I was supposed to go this year.
Oh, just because
But
I remember your mother is a German.
yeah, so this year I was Miss New Zealand was supposed to end in March, and in July I was supposed to go to America to see my aunt there. Sorry, and then I was supposed to go to Philippines. I was supposed to go to Davao first, and then I want to go to Manila, um, and just travel around. See Palawan and Boracay, and then I was supposed to go to Germany after with my cousin on my mum's side, who's in Australia. But obviously, we can't do that anymore. But
Now, no.
coming back to the Philippines when we can travel safely again.
Yeah. So your auntie is living in Australia.
She's in America. My cousins are in Australia.
Oh, I see. Sorry. So she's in America right now.
Yeah, so she has a husband, kids, and they met through like a video game. And he lived in America, and so she moved there.
Oh, hopefully we can meet when you visit Manila.
Yeah, definitely. Because I told my sister to come with me to the Philippines. Like we haven't had my sister hasn't met me as Ari. She's the last time she saw me was before my transition.
Really?
Yeah, so she hasn't met her little sister yet.
So what you know is you're not Ari that time.
Yeah, but we talk every day on FaceTime. So she's like seeing me, but just not in person.
Oh. But do you have any idea when will be the Miss Intercontinental 2020 and where?
It's normally in Egypt. Um, it's normally like December, like January. It's usually the last of the pageants because it's normally like Miss Asia Pacific is usually like the earliest, and then Miss Earth, Miss International, Miss World, and then Miss Universe is towards the end. And I know that like Miss Supranational was before Miss Universe usually, and Miss Intercontinental is usually the last one.
Yes, yes.
So it's
But
it's usually January, but I don't think that's going to happen with COVID. So it may be middle of next year. Who knows? It may be end of next year. I know that um, any queen who's been crowned on uh, this year, like we get like a 2 year reign, I think. So we get a reign for like 2020 and then a reign for 2021 because of COVID. So I'm not too sure. I'm hoping that it's end of next year, just so I have like more time to prepare. I want to be in the best like physical and mental state. Been eating so much KFC since Miss New Zealand. So when I start and I want to, eat healthy again and work out,
yes, exactly. So you need to have workout.
but it's so
That
important as well to, like work hard but also play hard. So I've just made the most of eating KFC and most like my break, my downtime before I prepare for Miss Intercontinental because it is super stressful and very full on preparing for a beauty pageant. And I just told myself like I worked so hard all year, so the 3 weeks that I have off, I was like, Ari, just take it in, enjoy yourself, relax, eat whatever you want to eat, sleep for 12 hours a day, like you have no responsibility.
yes, yes. Here in the Philippines, we don't have representative yet for Miss Intercontinental just because the Binibining Pilipinas is so far postponed.
Yeah, because I messaged Karen from Iloilo
Oh, Karen Gallman.
Oh, not Karen, Laurie
Oh,
Mendoza.
Karen Laure Mendoza.
Yeah, so we follow each other on Instagram, and I messaged her. We were like talking because for me, like I always said, like, oh my God, if I get crowned before um like the Philippines girls crowned, I know that when I watch the live stream of like Binibining Pilipinas, it's going to be so exciting because I get to see my batchmate for Miss Intercontinental, and it's going to be special to me because I used to watch it as just a pageant fan, but then to watch it as a pageant girl and to be like, oh my God, she's going to be, my sister in this pageant, it's going to be crazy because I never in a million years thought that that would ever happen. I used to just watch and like idolize these queens, um and now I get to like be alongside them, which is like amazing.
Yes. Karen is good.
Aaron, I was like, I really hope it's you. I really, really hope it's you. Like, I obviously want all the girls to win, the Miss International crown, but I was like, Karen's my fave, and I was like, oh, really? Please, please, please.
Yeah, I like the face of Karen as well.
Ah, her face is beautiful. For me, her and Vicky are my favorites for Miss International. I really want to see Sam in Grand International. I think face, body, everything is like perfect, and just she's been doing it for a long time. She deserves her time, and she's worked hard, and she's ready, like for international.
Yes, exactly. I like Vicky too for
Yeah,
Miss
I love
International.
her.
I like her face, very
Yeah,
angelic.
and even her photos, like it's very, I don't know, like obviously every pageant has, a brand and an aesthetic and a look. I feel that Vicky actually really, really fits the Miss International brand. And
Yes,
surely, we can get another international crown with her.
yes. Hopefully, and praying for it.
Yeah.
And this is her last chance to
Uh,
join Binibining Pilipinas just because I'm not mistaken, she
Now,
is 27 or 28 right now.
right now, yeah. And I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
they raised the age limit due to COVID. But I really, really want to see her just because last year I thought she had it in the bag. She won so many special awards because I was watching it live. Um, and then
exactly.
the audience, distracted her during her Q&A. My heart broke. I was like, oh my God. You could see that she was so devastated. Um, and like now that I have competed in a pageant, I'm like, if that happened to me, like that would be the most like heartbreaking thing. So I can only imagine what it feels like for her. So for her to straight after that happened, like bounce back and compete again is so like admirable, and I like commend her for that. And I'm really, 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 really rooting for her.
Yes, me too. So hopefully. Okay, so good luck to your journey to Miss
Thank,
Intercontinental 2020. Of course,
thank
as a Filipino, we are proud of you and we are proud of your achievements.
you.
Remember, this is history.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm still like, I'm just a regular girl, little double in, yeah, like living in New Zealand. I never would in a million years think that I would make history. It's crazy. Like I'm a hard worker, and I've put, so much into this, and I've worked so hard to get here, but it's, I still haven't really like accepted it yet. In my head, I'm still the same old me from before, which I think is good because I never want to think, oh, like, you know, I don't think I'm too, I think I'm too like sweet and nice to ever be like that.
Yes, exactly. So
Oh,
you may
thank you.
invite everyone here to your platform, please.
Oh, yeah. So on Instagram, I'm Arielle.Keil. And if you type in my name on Facebook, like, there's like an Arielle Keil Miss Intercontinental New Zealand 2020 page. Um, I have TikTok, but I don't use it. I just use it to watch videos. I have Twitter, but I don't really use it either. Um, I think yeah, the main social platform I use is just Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, say hi. I'm very friendly. I'll reply, and if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. And I saw some comment to you on the Instagram, remember, a while ago. They were so thankful because you are very approachable.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we like, especially to the beauty queen.
For me, I'm
Yes.
just so grateful, and I'm just happy that people even know I exist. So for someone to, like even like tell me that they're supporting me is so special. Like I don't think I'll ever get used to it. I think every single time I will always be grateful and thankful that people are sending me such sweet messages.
Yes, and we should be thankful always, just because when we are in the international competitions, we really need fans.
Yeah,
Even they were
definitely.
shouting, New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand, Ariel, Ariel, Ariel. So it will boost your confidence.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yes,
I'm so grateful.
and I'm so thankful for you because you allow me to invite you here in Tito DTV.
Oh my
And
god, no,
hopefully
thank
this is not the last.
no, definitely not. Just an instant.
Yes, yes, because I would like you to know by our Filipino fans here in the Philippines.
No, that yeah, that would mean a lot to me. So I'm more than happy to get on another live stream and like talk to people and say hi.
Yes. And me, I always contact uh, beauty queens joining in different pageant that they have Filipino blood, they have Filipino roots, just because I
Um,
want them to be close to Filipino people.
that was one thing that was so important to me when I because in New Zealand we don't people don't really care about beauty pageants, but even before I entered Miss New Zealand, like yeah, I'm proud to raise the New Zealand flag, but I was like, oh my god, I want to do well in Miss New Zealand because pageants are a big thing back home, and I really want to make the Philippines proud. So to have love and support from people back home in the Philippines, I will always call Philippines home. It means a lot to have like my fellow like Filipinos telling me they're proud of me, and that they're supporting me. Like, I'm so happy. That's like all I ever wanted from my pageant journey.
Yes, of course. As long as you have the Filipino blood, whether is it one fourth, one half, one third, we love
Yeah,
Filipino.
and I think as long as you're
Wherever,
proud.
yes, wherever you are in the world, even in the universe. Yeah.
Right, no matter which continent or whatever. I don't know what thing for intercontinental is.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And now you will be representing New Zealand in the Miss Intercontinental 2020.
I'm so excited.
Yes, and we are excited to for you.
Thank you.
Please extend my warm greetings to your family, to your
I
mom, to your dad, to your
thank you.
sister. Do you have brother?
No, I don't. I told my
Also,
parents, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, have another baby. I wanted a little brother or a little sister. And now I'm like to my papa, I'm like, you should have had a son because you wouldn't have cared if I transitioned.
you,
Like, listen to me. Now you have no son.
so you only have one sister, your ate.
And I'm the baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
and no more son for your dad.
No. I when I was a kid, I was like, please, like, I want a little brother, a little sister. My parents used to always say, no, if we have another baby and they get all the attention, you're gonna be jealous and you're not gonna be happy. But I was like, no, 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 I'll be, happy to be an older sibling. Um, but they didn't listen to me. They should have, but
But I like your father.
yeah, no, he's so sweet. He's always like telling me, he's like, I'm so proud of you. Everyone back home is proud of you. Like all my relatives back home in Davao, they're so proud of me.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, do you want to shout out your relatives here in the Philippines?
Oh my God, yes. Hi to the Abrows and the Keels in the Philippines and Davao. I love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for all your messages. And I can't wait to come back home and go to the NCCC Mall and eat Jollibee with you guys. I miss everyone so much.
Yes. Hopefully I can visit again Davao City.
I'll definitely come to Manila, so I'll be able to see you.
Yes, just keep in touch.
Yes.
Please take care always.
Thank you so much.
You have cup right now.
Yeah,
You have to take medicine.
I have. Yeah, that's what I was drinking before my like cough medicine.
Oh, that's great. I cannot wait to cheer on you along with
Thank
the
you.
Philippines in the upcoming Miss Intercontinental 2020. Yes. So get well, son.
Thank you. Thank you, Mari
Mar-
Chris.
yes. And Marichoy. Where's the Marichoy? Thank you so much for the opportunity you gave me to be here in Tito DTV. It's really an honor for me to have you here in Tito DTV. Like I said, it is a history, and you are the history.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And hopefully, this is not the last time we can talk and we can meet personally.
Of
And we
course,
love you. We are proud of you. You are a Filipino.
of course, always.
Yes. Thank you so much. And to all our viewers, thank you so much to all of you, especially to my friend Maricruz Galoria Gabran, as well as Marichoy Tordelias of Cavite, Dasmariñas, Cavite, and to the other GC team Polin. We have a GC group chat in Facebook that is Team Polin. It's the candidate of the Miss Universe Philippines last time. Yeah, so
Oh,
I would like to greet them. Marichoy, here is Marichoy. Hello, Marichoy. Thank you so much.
oh yeah, her photo's pretty. That one.
Yes. So thank you so much to all my supporters and uh, to the followers of mine, subscriber of mine in YouTube channel. That is Tito D TV. Thank you so much to all the subscriber and to all the followers of my Facebook page. That is Tito D, as well as the other page of mine that is Empire of UT, as well as to my Instagram that is Tito D TV. Thank you so much to all of you, and please do support Miss Intercontinental New Zealand 2020, Arielle Keil.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so
Thank
much and bye for now. See you next week. I have an schedule this coming November 13 with Miss Universe Japan Yuki Tsunoda. And I also had invited Bagisa Misra from India. She will be live also next week. Thank you so much. And regard to your family, Ariel. Bye bye for now.